Okay, from here on out, we're just gonna do various sequences, and we're just gonna do them, literally just make them up on the spot, pretty much. And we're gonna start using mode ideas, so people who want to do film scores and whatnot have general kind of sequences they can use, and basically just move ideas. And we may use the circle here, we may not, as a reference point. So we're gonna just literally just make sequences and throw ideas around on how to create them. So let's do just the circle in minor. Okay, first in a clockwise direction, A minor, or in a counterclockwise direction. Actually, let me think here for a second. Actually, let's just do it in something like, so that's in a clockwise direction, A minor, E minor, B minor, F sharp minor. But what I was doing is kind of this 1 5 1 in A minor, then kind of a response to that in E minor, just between the 1 and the 2, and then kind of a call again, and then a response in F sharp minor, the same exact thing. So you could do stuff like that, have one motif in one key, and then the response to it in the next key, motif, response. So let's use Dorian, okay? Well, E minor, or E Dorian, I'm sorry. The Dorian 1, the Dorian 7, and the Dorian 4, maybe, like in this order. And then pivot off that to F sharp Dorian, do the same thing. So let's use this in a sequence. Let me just kind of improvise something in here. So let's do the sequence one more time, and then close it out. Go to the E flat, you could stay there, or consider that a 4-5, and then go to A flat something. Doesn't matter. So we're in this continuous Dorian 1 7 4, and using that as a pivot, the 4 of Dorian, to our new Dorian 7 4. So it's just a constant Dorian 1 7 4, and then I close it out by landing just on the E flat. So you could go to A flat minor, A flat major chord after that. It doesn't matter. I just did it to break out, or you could stay on the E flat as a new root. So let's do it like this. Same sequence, but we're kind of or slightly different. We're using the Dorian 1, the Dorian 5, the Dorian 4, and that's our pivot again. F sharp Dorian 1 5 4, pivot, G sharp Dorian or A flat Dorian 5 4, E flat. So you could do it that way with inversions. So let's do this. There's a little trick you can use with stuff like Dorian. If we go to E Dorian, D Dorian, C minor, or C Dorian, I'm sorry, I'm not going to even say minor, even though it's a minor mode. So let me do something else. I'll show you. Pivot. So we have a harmonic sequence, and how does that happen? Is the 4 chord on Dorian is the 5 chord of a D minor chord, right? So that's our new D Dorian, or Dorian. That's the 5 chord of C minor, C Dorian. Okay. So using traditional relationships in middle of modal things, like that, as a pivot. So let's take another direction. Continuous Dorian movement, but a new trick. Now let's end it So we basically did E minor, E Dorian. I keep saying minor. 1, 5, 4, E Dorian. Converted that to a minor. 1, 5, 4 of A Dorian. Converted that to a minor. Now I stayed in D minor. Okay, 1, 5, 4, and then a chromatic mediant shift out to break the chain to an E major, G minor to an E major. Just kind of break out. Now that's a different breakout than we've normally used so far, so you can do stuff like that to break out. Now we use a lot of inversions too, so keep that in mind. So let's take that same idea of converting. On the 4 chord of D Dorian, we'll convert that to a minor chord again. On the 4 chord of that, we'll convert to that a minor chord and to be in C Dorian. So it's the same concept, but we're going to do it a little differently. I'll do something like this. And then you can go to C Dorian and stay there or something if you want now. So we're going to stop here. So just a different way of using kind of the same idea. Dorian 1, 5, Dorian 1, Dorian 4, converted to a minor. That's our new Dorian. 1, 5, 1, Dorian 4, converted to a minor. That's our new Dorian 1. 1, 5, 1, Dorian 4. It's almost like a melodic minor ending, going to the C minor, but then we stayed in C Dorian. Okay, so there was a little bit of mixture in there with that melodic minor kind of ending, so don't worry about stuff like that. If you know how to break out and use stuff like that, use it to break out. That's one of the points of this video is to use everything within your means to not only create a change but to break out. So let's take Phrygian, okay? E Phrygian, B Phrygian, F sharp Phrygian, okay? So following a clockwise direction on that circle, you could do stuff like that. So doing something like this almost produces a tense effect. You might use it just as a transition, okay? Something like that. It's a harmonic sequence, but it's just a 1, 2, 1, 2 of Phrygian, but with a pedal point, the Phrygian root. In the opposite direction, Phrygian 1 of E to A minor, or A Phrygian. Phrygian 2, D Phrygian, Phrygian 2. That's all we're doing. Okay, so you could use it as like a transition kind of effect too. One thing we could do is take the same sequence and just hold a pedal point on each Phrygian root. Very tense sounding. A Phrygian. You know, these are nice film score effects, kind of effects that you might want to use. And D minor, this is almost like a Dorian sharp 4, but it's not quite because we used a flat 6. Or that could be a neighbor tone. I mean, however you want to see it. So it's just this movement. And now that I look at it, that could also be considered like a Neapolitan 6 to the E major chord, I'm sorry. Like you're in implied A minor. I mean, there's so many ways to view things that I just look at this as a move that I know. So, and sometimes I in my head, I kind of skip the labeling of it. So I have to sit here and think about it. Sometimes I'm like, okay, well, this could be multiple definitions on this move. So that's the nature of music. There's literally multiple explanations for a lot of the same things. So yeah, now we've introduced a lot of quite a few mode tricks into here. So and And this would be particularly useful for guys who want to get into film scores, because you're rarely going to hear guys, film score guys, use like dominant chains and basic dominant movement in general. And they like this kind of retrogressive style moves that don't seem to resolve until they get to that area within a piece of music where they actually want some kind of resolution and then a let go, so to speak, where it finally, gives the audience a sense of resolution. So let's move on to the next one. We'll just keep creating chains from here on out. We'll just do this for a while and keep coming up with more options.